So let me ask you guys a question, because I've been thinking about this a little bit, and I've tried a few beers in this with this particular flavor. When you see a beer and it's a peanut butter and jelly, or it says something peanut butter, like peanut butter porter, peanut butter stout, whatever it happens to be, especially like a peanut butter and jelly. When you get peanut butter flavor, what do you get peanut butter flavor, I guess, is the number one question. And does it taste like peanut butter? Does it taste like something else?
For me, I've had a couple of peanut butter beers. The only one that I've had that I know for sure I got peanut butter flavor from was from Renegade. They're out of Colorado, out of Denver. That one was, I don't remember the name of it, but it had a very like a Reese's peanut buttery, like a sweet peanut butter flavor to it. All the other ones that claim to be some sort of peanut butter flavored beer, peanut butter adjunct or something, always ended up being a little bit more vanilla, chocolatey flavor to me. I never can find that peanut butter flavor except for that one from Renegade.
Yeah, I've never had one that I would like to try that one. It tastes like Reese's peanut butter cups. That'd be good.
That one was really good. I really enjoyed that one. I think I did a Friday morning beer review on that.
Yeah, I'm finding that all these, because a lot of these brewers are now starting to do this, kind of differentiate themselves, like, the Lucky Charms beer, and like, they're doing all these different marshmallow this, marshmallow that, but I don't know, I feel like I don't ever taste it. Like kind of like you said, yeah, it's an IPA, but I don't taste the vanilla they claim,
Yeah.
And then I see a lot of them. It's like, why did you put this on the bottle? Maybe it's what you dumped in when you were brewing it, but it didn't come out in the end. So I don't know.
Well, yeah, with me, with the reason I ask is a lot of these peanut butter beers, like if it's just if it's peanut butter stout or like a peanut butter porter, there have been a couple that I've gotten really good, that sweet kind of peanut butter taste. But recently, it's like I either just get the grape, like the really strong jelly, quote unquote jelly flavor, or if I get any peanut butter, it just tastes like peanut dust. Like if you go someplace like a restaurant where you can eat the peanuts and stuff and just the dust that's floating in the air, it's like, that's all I get. I don't get peanut butter. I get peanut dust.
Almost like a peanut shell dust.
Yeah, exactly.
Great.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to do a little bit of a dive to find all the peanut butter flavored beers I've had. I know I've had a few, but I just looked it up. The one from Renegade's called Depravity, and that's an imperial peanut butter cup stout. So it's actually branded as a sweet peanut butter style beer.
Now, Sean, what would you say right now? Because I think for me, my flavors change all the time. But what is your favorite style right now that you're drinking?
I always say on the videos that stouts and porters are like where I think that's where my heart kind of lies. That's where it's just kind of what I built my kind of palate on initially. But these days I think I'm getting more into like Gozas and Berliner Weiss and stuff like that. I used to really love wheat beers like Hefeweizens and even just, straight up wheats. And it just seems like it's changing a lot. Like when I started doing these, I was anti-IPA. Like if I never drank an IPA, that would be, soon enough, never drinking it again. But as, obviously a lot of people drink IPA and a lot of beers that get put out are IPAs. So it'd be a really small amount of videos you could do if you didn't do IPAs. So, but trying them, kind of forcing myself to try them more has made me appreciate them more, but it's not my favorite. I still think, my heart still really lies with with stouts and porters, but I think I'm really starting to lean into kind of Gozas with the saltiness and the Berliner Weiss being kind of a little bit of a sour kind of style, lighter. That's especially with it getting kind of warmer. That's kind of where I'm moving towards these days.
Yeah, and we actually, for a period on the show, we did only barrel-aged beers. We loved them so much. We did a whole stretch of just everything was barrel-aged for us.
For months at a time.
Yeah, and it was good. But I think, like, right, my favorite style right now is the brewed IPA. Love those. But if there's a brewed IPA shelf I haven't had, I'll grab it because there's not a whole lot of them out there. But yeah, I started out as an IPA fan either when we first started doing this, but they've grown on me, I guess.
Yeah, same here with the IPAs. I kind of had to force myself into drinking them to gain an appreciation for what they actually are, and to find out, oh, there's actually more to a good IPA than what you initially think of, and like super hoppy and hard to drink. But there's so many varieties out there, different types of IPAs, that just forcing yourself to try them really got me into them for a little while. And I drank IPAs a lot for a little while before we were doing the show, and I kind of burned myself out on them for a little bit there. I'm kind of starting to get back into them a little bit. I like the brewed IPAs, as Adam mentioned. We had a brewed Pilsner the other day that it was really good. I never used to be a seasonal drinker either, and I'll still drink.
Tagline. That was like your claim to fame. I'm not a seasonal drinker. I will drink a stout in the middle of the summer.
And I still will. I still don't consider myself a seasonal drinker, but I look forward now to the season of beer. So while I'll still drink a porter or a stout on a 90-degree day because I love the taste of it, I look forward to the Gozes and the farmhouse ales and the saisons that come out in the spring and early summer, and really good lager on a lager or a pilsner on a hot day after mowing the grass. These beers that are somewhat seasonal gives me something to look forward to, even though I'm not a seasonal beer drinker. I'll drink a Kolsch on a 5-degree day or a stout on a 90-degree day. It doesn't matter to me. I just whatever I'm in the mood for. But the season of beer is definitely something of interest to me nowadays.
Yeah, I can agree with you on the IPA front. Like when I started, getting into more kind of craft beer outside of just like, Sam Adams or Shock Top, you can even that's what we considered craft beer back in my day. But getting into IPAs, it was like, for me, it was like, oh, the hoppier, the stronger, the better for me. Like having IPA was IPA. And when you think about it, like now, and I think back on it, it's like all those IPAs that I really was just diving into were just West Coast IPAs, super bitter, super piney, and it came to a point, like I remember getting Hop Slam before it was probably like a couple years in. It wasn't when it was brand new, but I don't remember it saying it was brewed with honey, and I think it was then too. But
yeah,
having it just be so bitter, just like like you're just sucking on pine sap. And that was like the moment after I had a couple of those and probably got really sick after drinking like 3 of them. I stopped drinking them. And that's when I started like looking more at the darker beers, having like ambers or even red IPAs, just changing that up. And again, like you guys said, kind of coming back and appreciating it nowadays, now that I'm maybe a little bit older and you realize that there's not just West Coast. And there's West Coast IPAs that I like, but
sure,
that's not the only thing, that's not the only IPA style. And there's so much stuff that's IPA they call an IPA and, it's like borderline IPA. So you never even know by looking at stuff if it's actually what you think to be an IPA anymore.
Well, I mean, that's a good point. And where's the line of what constitutes an IPA or just a standard pale ale? Because breweries are calling an IPA a juicy pale ale. Like, what the hell is that?
I think. Oh, go ahead.
It's still an IPA, but it's labeled on the can as a juicy pale ale. So, I mean, what do we have, a JPA now? I mean, what exactly are we drinking here? There's so much variety and use of different words to describe a type of beer now that it's kind of confusing. It's fun, but it's confusing, I think, sometimes to the consumer on what they're actually drinking.